Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something more special. Today we are rating all the BL and GL dramas that I have watched in the year of 2024. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I posted about it on my community post that I would do something like this, that I would go through every drama that I've watched and give my rating on it and, talk about a bit what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. I hope you are interested in that, and I would love to hear your opinions on all of these shows. And yeah, I'm just very excited to do that. I'm recording this on Christmas. I wanted to drop this at the end of the year. And yeah, I finished all the shows that I needed to finish before making the list, and yeah, I'm just excited. Okay, before we start with the actual ratings, I have a few disclaimers. Just so you know what I based this all around. First, this is a very subjective list. This is not objective at all. Like, this has my opinion and my brains ingrained into it. So of course, this is just me. This is just how I view these shows, how I like these shows. You don't have to share any of my opinions. I would love to see your guys' ratings in the comments and why you rate a show a certain way. But yeah, just so you know, please don't come at me for maybe not liking a show as much as you do, because I know that will happen probably, because I have a few in here that I know a lot of people love. But yeah, this, I'm not hating on the shows, I'm not hating on the actors, I'm just stating my opinion on what I thought about a show. So, second disclaimer. In this list, there are a lot of shows that aired in 2024, but there are also a lot of shows that aired earlier that are a bit older. This is actually because I started watching like queer dramas like BL and GL in 2020. During COVID, and I was watching a lot of stuff then, but then I took a break in like early 2022, so I didn't watch any until like the end of 2023, so I missed out on a lot. And so this year I took the time to really catch up on a lot that I missed. I still have not worked up on all my list, but I did do it especially with a lot of GMMTV shows that I was wanted to catch up on. But yeah, just a disclaimer, so you know that there's also a lot of older shows in this list. This is just everything I've watched this year. Talking about GMMTV brings us to disclaimer number 3. There's a lot of GMMTV in here. As I said, I caught up on almost every drama that I've missed from GMMTV, just because a lot of my favorite actors are under that label and that company. And I don't know, they always have like a good production quality, like they have money in their shows, and that's why I watch them. So yeah, there's a lot of those in here, just as a disclaimer why there's a lot of GMMTV in here. And the last disclaimer, I'm only including shows in this list that finished airing in this year. So no shows that are currently airing and are only ending in 2025 are in this list. This is just like, I think that I can only truly judge a show once I've watched everything, like all the episodes. Because there's some shows that are like the most insane, amazing show, and then at the last episode they fell off or something like that. So that's why there's only shows in here that are already finished this year. So yeah, there's only shows in here that actually ended airing in 2024. So yeah, I have a few shows that I'm watching right now that are not gonna be in this list. I can talk about them briefly, just so you know what I'm watching currently, because I know a lot of people think, because I react, that I'm only watching those shows that I react to, but I already always watch a lot of other shows. I just don't react to all of them because I just don't have the time. Because yes, I have time to watch them, but I do not have time to film, edit, make thumbnails, schedule the uploads, and also find time to have an empty room by myself to film, actually, because if I don't record it, I can just watch it in my bed with my sister. Like, it doesn't matter. But like this, I have to, you know, consider a few things. That's why I don't react to every show, only the ones I'm most excited about. But yeah, what I'm watching currently that doesn't stop airing this year, that goes on till next year, is For Once Pluto with Namdan Film. I love the show. I love everything about it. It's so cool. I don't know. I really love the tone. I love how it looks. I love everything about it, and I'm really enjoying it right now. I think we're like only 3 episodes left till the finale, so we're like pretty good into it. But yeah, I'm really loving it. Next is Perfect Headliners. Of course I'm watching Perfect Headliners. There's like a bunch of actors in there. Surprisingly, I thought I wouldn't enjoy it as much, but I actually really like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's like a very light watch, very comforting, and I just love spending my Sundays watching the show. So yeah, I'm enjoying it very much. Next is Your Sky. This was also a surprise to me. I thought I started it because I know I always saw Thomas and Kong getting hyped up, and you know, I thought I'd give it a chance. But I was prepared not to like it as much. But oh my fucking god, I'm obsessed with this show. I'm so obsessed. The last episode I watched, I think it was episode 6. I was screaming, crying, shaking in my boots watching that episode. Oh my god. So yeah, that's if they keep it up, that's like, ooh, that's one of my favorite shows, like for real. Of course, we're also watching The Heart Killers right now. That's what I'm watching on the channel. It's so good. I literally recorded episode 6 before recording this. Although this is gonna drop much later than episode 6 because I have to edit this a lot more. But Heart Killers, that's just get better and better every episode. I love it so much. It's such a good show. Yeah, then we have Tempo, which only has 2 episodes out until now, and oh my god, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I love everything about it. I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do with the show. And yeah, so far, oh my god, Est William are killing it. I mean, William Est, I think it's the right order, but who even cares about that? And yeah, one more show I'm watching right now. I literally started it this weekend. I wanted to watch it for so long, but I only got around now, is Our Youth. I know that it's not finished yet. It's gonna finish in 2025. That's why I'm taking it slow. But I watched 2 episodes of that. It's a Japanese BL. And let me tell you that I was not prepared. How insanely amazing. Episode 2 was so good. The chemistry between the leads is actually insane. And I'm just I'm gonna binge the rest of the episodes that are now after I film this. I'm just so excited. I love the show. Okay, so next, let's get into my rating system. So I take every show and I rate it from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being like the best of the best. Since it's my personal rating system, I also give like 3.5 or 4.5 out of 5. And yeah, one thing that's good to know is it's like, that's just my brain. Please bear with me. So if I give a show a 4.5 out of 5, honestly, quality-wise, it's just as good as a 5 out of 5. But for me, the only difference between those 2 ratings is that 5-star shows just give me the most insane brain rot. Like 4.5 shows also like they're so good and I love them so much, but they just don't give me that brain rot. Like the brain rot meaning is I think about it day and night when I'm not like watching it, and they really have like this big rewatch factor for me. Like, and I go on Twitter, I look up edits, I go and read fan fictions. Like that's for me the separation between 4.5 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. So just so you know that. Also, one thing I really wanted to say is I'm very extremely biased towards actors. If a show, I mean, I'm not saying that I would love the show even if it was bad, that's not it, but if it's just like how could I say it? Not really special. You'll see what I mean when I get into the ratings. But even if it's not like anything special or new, or you know, if they have my favorite actors in it and you know these actors are giving like it their all, then I'm probably still gonna rate it very highly, just because I got so much joy from watching my favorite actors on screen, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, that's also a thing just to keep in mind for me. I'm not gonna like pretend a bad show is not bad because it has my favorite actors in it, but if a show is just like okay, I'm still gonna love it because they have my favorite actors in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is for me. It's just my brain. Okay, one more thing before we get into the actual ratings of the show. We have non-BL and GL shows that I've watched. So, most of you know I love the actors at GMMTV and the actresses at GMMTV. So, since they always release a bunch of shows, I also end up watching shows that are non-BL and non-GL from GMMTV. Just because I want to see my favorite actors and I'm always interested to see just watch new shows. So there's actually 4 in here that I want to briefly touch upon, just so you know that I've watched them. The first show is Summer Night. Mainly watched this for Pooin, not gonna lie. Pooin is... I love Pooin. You should know this. I fucking love Pooin. And yeah, I've watched this show. I don't know what to say. I loved it in the beginning. I thought Pooin and Parn had great chemistry. They have really good chemistry. And the beginning was very cute. I loved Ryu and Java together. They were like the saving grace for me in this show. I also really loved Dunk. Dunk was so good in this show. White was like one of my favorite characters, and Ivy as well. I fucking love Lokjun. She was so good in this show. But I would say after a while it kind of fell off for me, because especially after Loon and Star got together, just because, you know, this whole keeping it a secret was very not cool, and like, you know, how everything just ended very messy. I didn't end up liking Star's character at all at the end, because she did some pretty dumb stuff. So yeah, all in all, I gave this show like, if I would rate it like a 3 out of 5, I'm not sure. I had my fun with it, but at the end it really like kind of was not it anymore. Something else I watched was Peaceful Property. I didn't know why I even started it, but I thought, hey, it got Taeyu, it got Mook, and it got Jan. I fucking love Jan. So, you know, I gave it a shot because it looked very unique with like the ghosts and everything. And oh my god, I got hooked from the start, and it just got better and better and better every episode. I highly recommend, if you have not watched Peaceful Property yet, please give it a chance, please. It's so good. It's so good. Honestly, it's so good. Also, it has some gay in it, so watch it. Like, there's some gay stuff in there. Like, Taeyu, you can't just put Taeyu in the same show and not expect them to have chemistry. And there's also that episode with Forcebook, which is probably one of my favorite episodes of TV I've ever watched in my entire life. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I was bawling my eyes out. It was so good. 5 out of 5. Love the show. And next we have High School Frenemy. Oh, of course I watched High School Frenemy. What the fuck do you take me for? I was also not sure why, because I didn't know Sky and Nani before. I knew Nani, like, I knew him from name because he was in F4 Thailand. I didn't watch that show. Didn't know Sky at all. I only watched this because View, June, and Mark. That's it. Also Est. That's why I wanted to watch the show, and because everyone was raving about it. Yeah, I ended up loving this more than anything in my entire life. I was obsessed. Now Sky Nani are my everything. Even as Sky Nani. I love them so bad. This is 5 out of 5. Easy. If you're one of the few people who have not watched this yet, watch it. It's so good. It's very gay. No matter what anyone says, it's very, very gay. Love it. Love the show. And yeah, there's one more that I'm currently watching, so I have not finished it yet, but I can talk briefly about it. It's The Gifted. I feel like I'm like one of the only people on earth who have not watched the show yet. And I'm bashing myself because I'm like at episode 7 right now, and I'm loving it. I am loving it so badly. I'm so excited to finish the first season and then watch the second one. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Everyone is just chef's kiss. Every episode is so interesting. I'm always like, they always keep my interest. It's so good. Yeah. Okay, I lied. There's one more segment until we get to the shows and my ratings, and that is, of course, the segment of shows that I dropped in 2024. So I started them and then I dropped them. There's quite a few. I'm really sorry. I am someone, if something is like just looks a bit and tiny interesting, even if I don't know any of the actors, I don't care. I watch it. But if I don't like it after a few episodes, then I drop it, because honestly I watch so much. I can't keep watching shows that just don't keep my interest. And yeah, as I said, this is nothing against the actors or anything. It's just that like sometimes I'm just not feeling it. I'm just gonna barely touch on all of them, just so you know. First we have Deep Night. Very sad. This had such an interesting concept, just not the greatest execution. It just turned out very differently from what I thought it would, and yeah, I was a bit bored after a while. Then we have Two Worlds, which I wanted to watch because of Max Net, and because it had a great concept. Like, it had a really great concept. The first few episodes were really nice. I really liked them, but I don't know, after a while, it kind of fell off for me. I'm not sure. We have a JBL, it's called At 25 in Akasaka. Also really interesting with, you know, them shooting a BL together. But I don't know, there was honestly just not much happening. I didn't really feel the chemistry, and yeah, most of these shows I just dropped because I was bored. Like, when a show bores me, that's like the worst thing ever. Like, I just can't keep watching something that's like boring to me. Oh my god, the next one hurt me so bad. I wanted to love this so bad. It's called My Marvelous Dream Is You. It's a GL from Idol Factory. I love every single actress in this show. I love them all so badly. I was so excited because it's also the director of Design, and but it was so not it. I'm like very sorry. I watched the first episode. I was already kind of like, oh, and the second it just dragged so much. I don't know why the runtime is so long and why there were so many unnecessary scenes in there, but I just could not keep watching. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Faye May. I love you so much, but this was not it. I really hope they get a better show next. I need them to have a better show. Next, also very, very upset and sad, it's a Battle of the Writers. I was so excited for this. If you were around during my Cutie Pie reactions, you know how much I love Tudor Yim. I was obsessed with them. I love Tudor Yim. I watched all of their other shows. Like, I watched Middleman's Love, even though it hurt me. I watched it. And I just was so excited for this project because it seemed so new and promising and so cool, and it just turned out so differently, and just I don't even know what the plot was at some point. I was just like, what is going on? What is happening? Why should I care about anything? I don't know. Another one, which I really loved at the beginning, but it kind of just started being boring. It's called See Your Love. It's a Taiwanese BL. And I don't know. I also didn't really like or feel the second couple. But this one, I still have hope. I'm gonna wait till it's over. I don't know if it's finished airing yet, but I might revisit this and just binge it because the episodes are already like pretty short. So I don't know, maybe I could just binge this later on. Next one, I know some people are gonna be very upset about. I'm very sorry, but it's Forever You. I'm sorry, okay? This isn't a bad show. It's not a bad show. Honestly, just didn't really keep me interested. I don't know, maybe I've watched too many college BLs at this point. And I love the cast. The cast is so good, but they just couldn't save it for me at the end because the premise is just very basic. And I don't know, it was just, I loved the first few episodes, but after a while I was like kind of bored. So yeah, it's not a bad show. It just didn't really keep my interest long enough. Yeah. Next is Love is a Poison, which is a Japanese BL. I was very intrigued by, the premise, but my main problem with this, I watched it on Netflix, and they didn't release it all in one go, not even like once a week. It was just a few episodes and then they stopped. And I just was tired of waiting, and honestly, I felt like I don't really have to know what's gonna go on in the future episodes because I wasn't very interested in the first place. It was kind of, I don't know, off for me. Another one that I was excited about and people were like really liking was I Cannot Reach You. It's also a Japanese BL. I don't know, it was just very boring to me. I'm really sorry. I gotta say, for me, childhood friends to lovers is like one of my least favorite tropes. And if you do that in a show, it has to be really well done. And it just wasn't really for me. I just didn't feel it. And yeah, I wanted to like this, but it just wasn't it for me. I'm very sorry. And then we have one more show, which I'm also very sad about. This could have been so good. It's Petrichor. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. It's GL. It's so interesting. I thought I was gonna love every second of this, but it was just kind of boring after a while. I don't know. The plot didn't really seem to move along. I don't know. I thought I was getting like a GL version of Manner of Death, but it just didn't keep my interest like that show did. So yeah, I dropped it after like I watched a lot of that like every episode that got released, but I dropped it after like 6, I think. Yeah, it was just a bit boring. Yeah. So finally, we're gonna start with all the shows I have watched and finished in 2024 and my rating. These are mostly in order like I've watched them, I think. I also gotta mention this. I have a friend with whom I watch BLs with sometimes. So, and for me, sometimes that changes how I watch a show when I'm watching it with a friend. So I'll mention it whenever it's a show that I've watched with her. So just so you know. The first show I watched in 2024 was actually Enchanté. With the GMMTV shows, I went down chronologically. That was the first show that I missed in 2022. So from then, I started chronologically through them all. This was the first one. This was my first time seeing Force Book. And I liked the first few episodes so much. Ak was my favorite character. He was such a good character. The OST was really nice. They have great chemistry. I love Force. I love him so bad. But then everything after episode 8 was shit. Sorry, I was so disappointed. Until episode 8, I thought, oh my god, this is such a good show. I don't know why everyone doesn't like it. Like, okay, not everyone, but a lot of people were talking shit about it. But yeah, everything was just stupid. I did not like it. Theo became very annoying towards the end. The ending was very mid. Yeah. I also did not care for any of the Enchanté guys and their stories. I did not give a shit. I only give a shit about Ak and Theo. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I rate this 2.5 out of 5. I'm sorry. I wish I stopped at episode 8. Like everyone told me to, but I just, yeah. Next is A Love in the Air classic. I watched this with my friend because she watched it before me actually, and this was like one of her favorites, so we watched it together. It was interesting. I really liked it, honestly. I really liked the chemistry. The love scenes were insane. At that time was like the most insane thing I've ever seen. Payu, my man. I love Bosnoel. I love Fort Pete. That show introduced me to them, and I love them all so much. Of course, there's things I did not like some cringy moments, the sometimes questionable consent, and that one Payu Sky singing scene. I'm very sorry. Wait, Payu Sky? Is that right? No, Payu Rain. I'm sorry. Payu Rain singing scene. Yeah, I'm off the hook. But all in all, really loved it. I cried a lot and I had like a lot of heartful moments. I loved both couples. 4 out of 5 for sure. Let's come to my obsession during early 2024, which is The Sign. If you've not watched this show yet, watch it. It's on YouTube, for fuck's sake. The uncut is on YouTube. Please, please, please. Insane, amazing, show-stopping, introduced me to Billy Babe. I love Billy Babe. Oh my god, the acting was incredible. OST was so good. Everything about it, the story, it made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me scream. Just so much greatness. It had such a great story, so many diverse like locations, and just great female characters. Thank you. Just a lot. I love it. I know the CGI was not it at some points, but I applaud their effort to do that, especially if you have like, they had a team from Thailand do it, and just I love Paya and Tarn so much. Oh my god, the finale made me cry like a little baby. 5 out of 5, gave me the biggest brain rot ever. Like ever. I could not stop thinking about the show. I'm so ooh. Next we have another classic that everyone was telling me to watch. It's called Triage, of course. As someone who watched Manor of Death when it was airing, I knew about the existence of the show and I was very excited about it. Then I was not there when it started airing, and now I've watched it. I binged this in like 2 days. I loved it so bad. The story was so cool, so interesting, great setting, so bingeable that just keeps you on your toes at all times. Made me cry, made me emo. And oh my god, I loved that they switched the POV to Tol in the last 3 episodes. It was so good. Yeah, the only negative points I had for the show was that if you like look closely, the actual romance does not start until like very late into the show, and Tol was not very likable at the start, I just gotta say. But still, this is a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Chef's kiss, great show, please watch it. So next is Pit Babe. Pit Babe, oh my god, I was very reluctant to start this, not because it's like Alpha Omega, whatever, I didn't care about that, but because I had watched 1 episode, the first one, and I just was not in. But then my friend watched it all, and then she told me like, you have to watch it, we have to watch it together. So yeah, I watched this with my friend, and I was so wrong. Like after like episode 6 or 7, so during like halftime, oh my god, I felt suddenly so into it. Like it really took off after the middle, like everything just, the story took off. It was such an interesting story, you know. I was always like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen next. Elle and Jeff became my sole reason to breathe during this time when we watched this. Oh my god, I was obsessed with them. Yeah, intro music slaps. I really like the OST as well. Some negative points that I had was that I didn't really think Babe was that likable at the start, and neither was Charlie. I don't know. I like them later, but yeah. And as I said, the first few episodes just really weren't my cup of tea. For me, I had to get through them to get to the interesting stuff that came later. Also, Way deserves better, and I wanted more North Sonic and Kim Kemta because they didn't get anything actually. Still, great show, had me hooked. 4 out of 5 for sure. I loved it. Next is a show called To Be Continued. I feel like I was the only person who watched this. And honestly, I only watched it because, why did I watch this? So Billy, who's in The Sign, his little brother was in this show. And that's what I watched. I don't know. I watched a bit, I started it, and it has really high production quality. You could see that they put a lot of money into it. They have a lot of like flashbacks, they're very cute and everything. I liked it. Achi, hot as fuck. And for me, the saving grace of the show was Key and Gambi. I don't know if I pronounced this right. This is the show I watched in like February. I don't fucking remember. Gambi and Key, I don't know. But they were so cute. I was so mad that they had so little screen time, honestly. I wanted way more. But that's like everything good I can tell about the show, because oh my god, the plot was so boring. There's so many cheesy moments, sound effects. Ooh, G was kind of annoying most of the time and just got very boring, and it dragged more and more, and at some points I am even surprised I finished the show, but I really wanted to see more of Gami and Ki. That's why I watched most of it on second speed. I'm sorry. I could not. This gets a 2 out of 5. Just not it really, honestly. I'm sorry. So next is something I was very excited about, which is Cherry Magic Thailand. So this was actually my first time ever watching Taeyu. I did not watch Dark Blue Kiss or Kiss Me Again. This was my first drama of theirs, and honestly, looking back, I really liked this show. This was a very cute adaptation. I also watched, this was very funny, I watched the Japanese live version of this, like back when it came out. Then they had an anime made out of the manga. I watched that too, and then they had the Thai version. So I watched all of 3 of those, and yeah, I really liked it. It was very cute, very beautifully shot, had a nice budget. Karan Tae in this role was just so good. I loved him in this role. Karan was such a good character. Green flag, just the definition of a green flag. I like that they included these traditional Thai elements. I really liked the OST. The scene at the airport made me cry. Love it. And just got cuter and cuter every episode. And yeah, I love the show. I did think that it didn't quite reach the Japanese adaptation, and that it got a bit boring at times, maybe because it was so long. And honestly, I did not care about the hetero couple. I'm very sorry. I love Sing and I love Jan, but I just didn't care about their characters in this show. So yeah, I gave the show a 3.5 out of 5. It was still very cute. I had a good time watching it. So next is another brain rot show of mine, which is Vice Versa. I watched this, and it was the first Jimmy C show that I watched, and I was like, oh my god, I was gone. Oh my god, it was so good. I loved every second of this. It was so cute, fluffy. I loved the Easter eggs. I loved the cameos. There's so many cameos in here. I love that. Jimmy C, incredible. I love their chemistry. So cute. I have so many moments that I loved, and just I liked the way that they really had time to develop the relationship. And oh my god, there's like, let me think. There's like 2 moments that I always think about in the show that stay on my mind ever since. One was when they were outside, when Pun realized that he had met Tale in his old life, in his normal life, when he gave him the hat and he recognized it. That moment is one of my favorite ever. Like, I love it. And another one is when they reunite in, you know, their normal world again. So good. The only negative points I had about the show, but that's not the show's fault, it's GMMTV's fault, because why were there so many fucking ads in here? No. No. I did not know. Stop it. Stop it. Still, 5 out of 5 gave me major brain rot. Like, I could not stop thinking about it at all times. Next we have a BL from Japan. It's called Love is Better the Second Time Around. Honestly, I don't have much to say about the show. It was very short. It was very good. It was very good. Very nice chemistry. Very good pacing. I love the story about, you know, them being in love as high schoolers and then meeting again as adults. It was just very nicely done. They had a kiss in episode 1. It was very fast paced. I really liked that. And yeah, just good music. The past, like the actors who they cast for their past selves were also incredible. Everything about it was really nice. Yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 5. Watch it if you have nothing to do. It's like a very quick watch, but I really liked it a lot. Next we have one of the biggest shows of the year, which is 23.5. GMMTV's first GL drama. Of course I would watch it. I loved Milk Love since Bad Buddy, bro. If you see my reaction, you know how much I loved Ingpa. I was so excited for this, and oh my god, it was so cute. I loved Ongsa as a character. She was so relatable. I loved the trans representation. I loved Aileen and Luna. Oh my god, this made me fall in love with Vyojun. Rest in peace. I'm sorry. Yeah, kind of the show had my heart. Like, it was such a comfort show for me. I loved all the characters. I really thought the characters were all so nice. Like, Alpha and Marvin, I was rooting for Marvin so badly. I love him so much, and everyone was just so cute. I do have some negative things because, especially in the later episodes, I just thought, especially like the breakup in episode 11 was kind of like, why? I don't know why they always have to do this in the last, like, some of the last episodes, but yeah. And you know, Ongsa sometimes seemed kind of over the top and like comic-like. I'm not sure, but overall, great show, great cast, loved everything about it. 4 out of 5 for sure. Okay, next one is probably, y'all are gonna eat me alive for this. I watched Playboy, and I watched this with a friend because I would never watch this alone. But I watched this with a friend because I thought, hey, we're gonna have the best time ever. Because I knew the rating on my drama list, and I was very, like, I saw a few TikToks of people talking about how crazy insane the show is, and I was like, okay, let me watch it. We watched the uncut version too. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was very camp and trashy, but still in the entertaining way. I don't know how to, like, it was entertaining. It was not boring. I thought it was very entertaining, even though it was like, I don't know, it's like you watch a bad movie, but it's still really good. I don't know how to say it, but it actually kept me invested because it has an actual story. You wouldn't think, but it has an actual story. Yeah, but the love scenes, I can't even say love scenes. That's NC scenes where the most insane thing I've ever seen, and I'm probably never gonna see anything like this before. If you want to watch this show, please look at trigger warnings before, because I was not prepared. Yeah, but of course, since it was very trashy, there's like a lot of things that were like, what? Like, the Japanese voiceover, please. They did it once, and then I hope they would never do it again, because oh my god, no. They always also, of course, they threw these love scenes in at every possible moment when it made no sense. Just throw that shit in. At some point you get used to it, and then it's just not that shock factor anymore, so I'm just like, okay, wow, they're doing it again. And yeah, the English also, not it, and very questionable acting at some points. And also the fucking cliffhanger at the end. Like, give me season 2 right now. I need to know, bro. Like, I watched this with a friend online, and then we met up in real life and watched the finale together, and we were both shell-shocked at the end. We're like, what the fuck do you mean this is the end? But all in all, I had a good time. If you watch this, watch it with a friend, get drunk, you're gonna have the best time ever. I gave this a 3 out of 5 just because I had a good time. I was purely entertained, my friends. Next, we have another favorite of everyone's. This is The Eclipse. Actually, also my first Kaltan drama. Loved it. So good, so interesting. The story, the setting, enemies to lovers. First Cow are insane actors, like I knew, but they were still insane. They have insane chemistry. I mean, we all know this. Kaltan especially aced this fucking role. I mean, so did First as Ak was, wow, deeply touching. But Ayan is like one of my favorite BL characters of all time. I loved him so much. Neo Lewis, actually, they were incredible in this. I love them. Like, I have seen them in Fish Upon a Sky, but in this, I love them. I loved them. Yeah, I love the twists. I loved seeing Ark's journey. And yeah, the only thing why I didn't rate this higher was because honestly, at some point, I was like, the plot was kind of lost somewhere in the middle, but I still loved it. 4.5 out of 5 for sure. Next, we have Something in My Room. I watched this with my bestie, and just telling you right now, if I didn't watch it with her, I would have dropped this show so quickly because oh my god, the first few episodes were very interesting with the horror elements and the ghosts and oh my god, and Nut. We only watched this for Nut. We loved Nut from Pit Babe, so we wanted to watch this. He was perfectly cast actually, but oh my god, everything else was so bad. It was slow, it was boring, it was just dragging, and there was just nothing, barely any romance, nothing to keep me interesting, and just nothing. Like, just nothing. Like, as I said, I would have dropped this if I didn't watch this with my friend. So yeah, I got this a 2 out of 5. I'm sorry. Next we have a Korean BL, Jazz for Two. Of course, everyone was talking about it. Of course I would watch it. Very strong start. It was very nicely shot, edited, and great OSTs. I love the OSTs in the show. Yeah, I really like the angst, the jealousy, everything. The chemistry between the actors was really nice. I just thought it was a bit toxic and had a lot of unnecessary drama, but all in all, I quite enjoyed myself watching this, and yeah, I give this a 3 out of 5. We are back with the brain rot because I watched We Are. Okay, people might disagree with me, especially if you're not a fan of any of these actor couples, like if you just watch this because you wanted to watch it. I went in knowing I would be obsessed with it because I'm obsessed with Ponpuin. Ponpuin are one of my absolute favorite couples ever. So I went in and I was blown away. First of all, the start, listen, everyone was the same, okay? We all loved it at the beginning. I thought it was amazing, insane, beautiful, show-stopping. Very rom-com, made me cry, made me laugh. I loved it. I loved everything. It's such a joy. I loved the acting, especially Oo. This was my first time really paying attention to Oo and Boom. And they aced it. They were like my other, like, I had Ponpuin and Oo Boom, beautiful. I love Tan Fang, they were one of my favorites. And yeah, I just love the chaos. I love the chemistry of all the other couples as well. Like Winnie Satam were so good. I love them. And this Mark Poon, amazing, amazing. I loved it. I loved it. Poom and Peem had me by the neck, literally by the neck. And I loved, especially, I really like the later episodes when they started dating. I like episode 11, 13, 14, and 15. And yeah, I also liked the behind the scenes that they showed at the last episode a lot. But yeah, of course, we all know this wasn't a perfect show. It was also very long. I mean, all in all, the premise just, you know, that was just a college show. Like, nothing new. And Poom Peem took so long to get together. It was very frustrating to watch at some points. And just not realistic at all. Like, you know, I just... But I also didn't really like the last episode too much. I don't know, I thought the ending was kind of flat. But I still have to give this a 5 out of 5 because I thought about the show day and night. I could not wait for a new episode. I was always so excited for it. I cried so much. I read fanfiction about Poom and Peem because I couldn't wait. And yeah, it was honestly, it had me by the neck. So I have to give this a 5 out of 5. Okay, next we have the surprise of the year for me, which is Only Boo. You know, I watched this because I watch everything by GMMTV, but I didn't know any of the actors. I knew that Milk and Book was gonna be in there. But you know, C and Keen were two newbies having a show for the first time. And wow, was I blown the fuck away. It was so cute, cheesy, goofy, but everything I loved about a show about like high schoolers. Like, it was such a fluffy, feel-good show. I had such a great time watching this, honestly. I loved how Moo was whipped from episode 1. I loved his character. I loved C. He's so handsome. I thought they had such great chemistry. They're so nice together. Like, it was really funny. I like their confession. I love Kangmoo so much, and this really got me into Seekeen a lot, and like now I'm such a big fan of them. I can't wait for their next show. Amazing, just amazing. Like, I love the finale. I loved everything about the show. I just thought it was sometimes, you know, a bit cringy. A lot of sound effects, very cliche, you know how it is sometimes. One thing I just didn't like about the show was I don't understand why they cast Book in in a homewrecker role. I call him homewrecker, but you know, him hitting on Kang was like, why would you? Why? I didn't understand why they put this in here. I thought it was, I don't know, it was kind of weird. I don't know. I wanted to see Book in kind of another character that was like a bit, I don't know, different. I also really liked Forrest's cameo at the end. That was really funny. Yeah, all in all, 4.5 out of 5 for sure. I love this show, man. Okay, the next one, I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm gonna go on a rampage. Because of course, I watched My School President this year. I watched My School President and I fell in love more than I could have ever imagined in my entire life. This show changed something in me. I don't even know what. Like, oh my god, I love this show more than anything in this entire world. I love everything about it. I love the actors, I love the music, I love the story, I love everything. Like, I don't know. Like, I was a Glee kid, so of course this show was gonna hit for me. But I also was crying at almost every episode. Like, Gemini 4 hit me hard. This is how I fell in love with them and their chemistry, and I've never looked back since. I have nothing negative to say about the show. Yeah, it was cheesy at times. Yeah, the sound effects were sometimes too much. I don't care. This show is my comfort. I watched it the first time during like, oh my god, when did I watch this? Like March, April this year. Since then, I've watched it like 4 more times and I still don't get tired of it. Like, I love this so much. 5 out of 5 easily. I've read so many fan fictions about Tin Gun. You will never take this away from me. This is my favorite BL of all time, by the way. Of all time. Dethroned will never be dethroned. I love this show more than anything in this world. And yeah, Next, we have Roommates of Pongdong 304, which I also watched with a friend, and of course we watched it for Ji-woong from Zero Base 1, which, yeah, I knew him before he was in Zero Base 1 because I watched Kissable Lips when it aired. But yeah, this was really silly, funny. I loved seeing Ji-woong in this role. Did I mention that I watched this with a friend? I watched this with a friend. And yeah, it went really uphill after episode 5. I really liked the episodes after that. But yeah, honestly, it was nothing really that special. It dragged a little bit. The plot was just, I don't even know what the plot was. But, you know, I still gave this a 3 out of 5. Yeah, I had my fun with it. Next, we have a Korean BL called Boys Be Brave. Honestly, this was really funny, silly, chaotic. Also, just like, what the fuck is happening most of the time? And Kisa was so stupid. I don't even know how a human could function and act that way that he acts. But honestly, I still had my fun. It was very heartfelt, very cute, especially the last 3 episodes. I really liked their first kiss, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun with the show. I thought it was cute. I really enjoyed watching it. I gave this 3.5 out of 5. Next, we have A Wedding Plan, which I also watched with a friend. I had such high expectations. I loved the plot of this. I thought it was so cool. But oh my god, I'm sorry. I did not end up liking this at all. It was very cliche. The plot was not moving along. And Lom is just such a dumb character. I don't know. I don't know. I also don't understand why they didn't just talk about it, and I don't know. It's just also bored me after a while. Honestly, I probably would have dropped this if I didn't watch it with my friend. I like the unhinged lesbians, and I like that the Love in the Airships were in here, and yeah, I zoned out after a while, honestly. But yeah, I give this a 2.5 out of 5. Next, we have a show that probably everyone is gonna kill me for my rating. We have My Stand-In. I was very excited, like everyone else, for the show. I love Up. I've known him since Lovely Rider. I love him as an actor. I love him as a person. I love him as everything. And honestly, This show was so insane from the very beginning. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I love Poom. He's so gorgeous. He's so handsome. He's such a good actor. I love him. I love Joe as a character so much. He's so nice, so pretty. And my problem is, oh my god, I did not like Ming. I thought he was very toxic. I did not like Tong either, but you know, he's also a villain. Of course, I didn't like him, but I didn't like him. Listen, I could have liked him after everything, but not after he kidnapped Joe and locked him the fuck up. So yeah, I was not really rooting for them as a couple, but at the same time I kind of was. It was very weird for me. But the show, all in all, kept me very interested. It was very good. Episode 11 was insanity and I loved every second of it. But yeah, with all of that in mind, I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. Please don't kill me. I still enjoyed it a lot. I just wish Ming didn't do some of the stuff that he did. But at the end, I had a lot of fun watching this. Okay, next we have 1D Good Day. I was so excited for this show since they announced it. Great and In together. Of course I'm gonna watch this shit. Oh my god. It was very goofy, chaotic. I loved the AIDS representation. I don't see that very often in BLs. They have great chemistry. From the start, they were insane together. I liked how it was shot. I liked how it was acted. Everyone was so cool. Cher and Ye were also such a cute couple. Episode 8 was my favorite. And I really liked the relationship between the brothers and how they portrayed that. And yeah, I just thought that the plot sometimes was a bit boring, but I liked it all in all. I gave this 4 out of 5. So we're back with the Brain World shows. We have Never Let Me Go. As a certified Pon Puin stan, you know, when I watched this, I could not stop thinking about it for one fucking second. Insane show. I loved everything about it. The look, the setting, the music, the acting, how it's shot, the scenes on the island. Oh my god. Listen, there's so many scenes in particular that I love about the show. Like so many, you don't even know. Their first kiss, one of my favorite scenes. Like even the moment before their first kiss, where Ning Diao got outed on the school and he was on the rooftop, and then Palm came to him and then he forced him into a hug and he was screaming and everything. That scene. Oh my god, I don't even know. Every scene in episode 9. Episode 9 broke me in 1,000 pieces, but the scene on the rocks where they're yelling at each other, and the scene afterwards when Palm is drunk and they're dancing, oh my god, you don't understand. I was so obsessed. I loved everything about it. Yeah, most of the, like, I only have a few negative points, which is that Ben is annoying as hell and that I just didn't like how Palm left at the end. I just wish he didn't. Well, yeah, 5 out of 5 easily. You know how much fan fiction I read about Palm and Diao. I could not let them go after I finished it at all. Next, we have My Love Mix Up Thailand, which I watched on the channel. Hey! Yeah, this is honestly another Brain World show of mine. I'm sorry, I just love Gemini 4 so much. Their chemistry is so good. And, you know, I did not go into this blind. I have watched the Japanese drama adaptation, so I knew the basic story and how things would go. Not everything, of course, because the Japanese one was very short. I fell in love with this cast. I love Gemini 4, of course, but Pan and Shogun and Ampao, love all of them so much. And episode 2 of this show, I stand by what I said. Episode 2 of this show, one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. I can say that because I'm currently rewatching this and I'm having the time of my life, honestly. I know that a lot of people did not like a lot of things in the show, but for me, it still had so many great moments. Like, just that also made me cry. Like, I loved episode 5. I loved the hand holding in episode 6. I loved episode 7, made me bawl. Their kiss in episode 8. I loved 9, 10, 11, and 12, all made me cry. I am serious. Like, you saw my reactions. Like, I filmed this. Like, I was obsessed with Kongtap and Atom. I could not stop thinking about them. I know the show was a bit slow at times. I know it was cheesy. I know there were too many ads and too many sponsors, and the sponsors at the end of every episode, and I know that Kongtap did not get what he deserved as a character. He should have gotten more scenes, should have gotten that scene of him crying, not cut out. I wanted to see that as well. I'm sorry, but I'm still giving this a 5 out of 5, because if I'm not giving this a 5 out of 5 when I cried like every episode, then what the fuck am I gonna give a 5 out of 5 out to? You know what I mean? Like, I also read a lot of fanfiction about Kongtap and Atom. Great, amazing, show-stopping. I love this show. I'm rewatching it and I'm having the time of my life. So, yeah. You know, it could have been even better. That's just yeah, that's right. But that's how it is now. So yeah. Next we have Lovesick. I don't really have a lot to say about this. I was so excited for it. I also watched this with a friend and I was very disappointed. I'm sorry. At first I thought, oh my god, great story, great locations, great atmosphere, 4P chemistry, and lesbians. What else could I wish for? But oh my god, it got so boring. I'm sorry, it got boring. The plot was like all over the place. I didn't even know what was going on half the time, and I very much just zoned out after a while. So yeah, this only gets a 2.2 out of 5. I'm sorry. Next, we have Moonlight Chicken, which I also watched on the channel, and you should know my feelings about Moonlight Chicken. I adore this show with everything in me, every cell of my body adores this show. Cinematography, acting, lighting, locations, Earth Mix, First Cow, Gemini 4th. Yes, 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 yes. Hard Li Ming. Hard Li Ming. Hard Li Ming. Yeah, episode 3, 4, 5, 7, the finale. I loved everything about it. The OSTs, great, amazing. I have no negative points for this show. It was perfection, 5 out of 5. You don't even know the amount of Hard Li Ming fics that I read. I read every single one because I could not get enough of these characters. So good, so good. Next we have A Boss and a Babe, which is the second Force book show that I watched. Love their chemistry in this, so good. Force as the boss, amazing, show-stopping, loved it. Book was so cute in this role. Episode 2 got me so hard. I really loved it. I really liked the progression. But yeah, you know, the show was kind of simple. The plot was nothing new, and there was also sometimes a lot happening with like the story was very messy at some parts, and I did not give a shit about the second couple. I'm very sorry. I love you, Om, but I just did not feel them at all. So, you know, I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. It was nice, but nothing I would remember in 2 years. Next, we have another highlight of this year for me, and it's a Japanese BL called I Hear the Sunspot. I'm begging you, if you have not watched this yet, then watch it, please. Off the bottom of my heart, give the show a chance. It will surely not disappoint you. Great story, great characters, just great progression, great acting. Oh my god, the finale made me cry like a little baby. I loved it so much. The show has my heart and my soul. And oh my god, and it touched on so many important subjects as well concerning like disability and everything, and oh my god, the last few episodes were so good. I loved everything about this show. Easy 5 out of 5. I could not wait for the next episodes. I loved it so badly. I really need to rewatch it again because it was so good, and oh my god, my everything, my entire everything. Next we have The Trainee. Very exciting for that. Like, I was so excited for more Afghan. At this point I hadn't seen Afghan since Not Me. And honestly, the first few episodes were so good. I loved everything. I loved the humor, I loved the editing, I loved the way it looks, the setting, the acting. I loved everything, like the diverse characters. I liked all of them, like the whole gang. They were so cool. And Jane Ryan, such a great, just amazing. I love them. But then I don't know what happened. But after like some time, like around episode, when was it, like 9-10, it kind of was like, what is even happening? Like the whole Tae Bami thing was so messy. I really like Judy and Bami. I also like Bami and Tae, but the way that she cheated on him and then they still got back together, I was like, why? Why would you do that? And I didn't like the time skip. I'm sorry, I just don't like time skips that much. Yeah, sad. This could have been such a great show, but it ended up being, for me, only like a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah. Next is This Love Doesn't Have Long Beans. Of course I would watch the Silop Pawn show after Pit Babe, and I was very hopeful about it, but it ended up not really being as great as I thought it could have been. I thought it was very entertaining at first. I loved Pawn in this role. I really liked seeing his acting. Garfield Band stole the show. They were amazing in this, and yeah, but it was honestly just kind of boring, and I was not invested somehow. I don't know, I just was zoned out a bit in the latter episodes, so I only give this like a 3 out of 5. Next we have A Century of Love, which was my introduction to Dao and Off-Road, and oh my god, what a fucking introduction it was. I love this show. Great, unique story, so fucking cute. Oh my god, Off-Road is so fucking cute. I love him so badly, and the chemistry off the roof. I mean, I've heard about them before, but oh my god, this was so good. I love episode 8 was my favorite, and I just loved it a lot. Like I love the finale. You know, they sometimes have like questionable sound effects, and it was a bit tiny cringe, but all in all, I enjoyed this show a lot, and I give this a 4 out of 5. Definitely give this a shot. Next we have Ayaka is in Love with Hiroko. I was so excited for this because this was gonna be my first Japanese GL ever, and I like the start so much. It has such cute visuals, great chemistry, it had me very invested and relatable, and it was so nice to watch. And but I don't know, kind of in the middle episodes it got really slow and nothing really happened, and they did just not get their shit together, and it just lost me a little in the later episodes, which was very disappointing because I had very high hopes for this. But all in all, I still liked it a lot, I guess. This was a 3 out of 5 for sure. Yeah. And next we have 4 Minutes. I don't know what I was expecting when I watched this, but oh my god, I did not expect the level of cinematography, acting, storytelling, perfection. It was so fucking good. At every episode, you never knew what was gonna happen next. It was so thrilling. I was glued to my screen, and oh my god, all these twists and turns were so fucking good. The show was actual perfection. Like, I loved it so badly. Yeah, I'm just giving this 4.5 out of 5 just because I didn't really get any brain rot from it. And sometimes I was a bit confused, but good, that could have been on my part because I'm very slow at times. Love Bible in this though, my baby. And yeah, Jess Bible, so good. I love this. Yeah, I love the show. I love it. Next we have Only Friends, which I watched on the channel as well. You know, as I said in my reactions as well, crazy, insane, so entertaining to watch. The acting was so good. I loved all the couples in here. Everyone was doing such a great job. You know, I just didn't like Boston, and everyone at some point was a red flag. And if you look at it, there's no real plot. It was just drama, but I personally was very entertained by that drama. So I really liked it, especially for me. Sandray were a highlight of the show for me. So yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 5 for sure. I liked it a lot. I'm very excited for the second season. Next, we have Hidden Agenda, which was another show that I watched from Jungdang. I've watched Star in My Mind as well. I was very excited for this one because it looked very interesting. I'm sorry, I just I'm already gonna apologize. I'm sorry. I just didn't really like the show too much. It was very simple. It was like, I felt like I've seen this before a lot. It was kind of boring. I did not understand Joke's fucking deal in the first episode. There are so many scenes you could skip and still understand what was going on. Especially, I'm sorry, the entire, like all these fucking, what was it called? All these scenes of them at the club were so long for no reason. I don't know. I really liked episode 8. That was very interesting, and Zoe and Joke were very cute boyfriends. But everything after, like, especially the last 2 episodes for me were like kind of a low point, and I was just like zoning out. So yeah, I gave this 2.5 out of 5. Jungdang kind of carried, but they couldn't carry this boring of a plot. I'm very sorry. Okay, next is, people are gonna skin me alive for this probably as well, but Kidnap, I'm sorry, I did not like Kidnap. I really wanted to like it because the story was so new, so fresh, and so cool, and I was so excited for Ohm and Lang. They have really nice chemistry, actually, and episode 7 was like my favorite, especially the fight and angsty scenes, but that's like where it stops for me, because honestly I was very bored most of the time. There was no real plot. It was, nothing really happened. Like, I watched all of these episodes, I could not tell you anything important that happened in the show. Like, I also didn't really care about any of the characters, like not even Min or Q. Like, I don't know, I was just like, okay, they're here. I don't even know how I managed to finish this, actually. But yeah, I gave this a 2.5 out of 5. Next, we have the Brainrot show of Brainrot shows. We have Jack and Joker. Oh my god, of course I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. There's no way around this, because this was one of the best shows, not only of this year, but ever. Story, fresh, interesting. The acting, chemistry, editing, everything was top notch. It gave me major brain rot, could not stop thinking about it, and oh my god, it was perfect in every way. Such great characters, such great like acting, and the episodes were all so interesting, and I loved it until the last second. Like, oh my god, everything about this was so good. I'm so proud of Yinwar. I've been a fan of theirs for so long, and this was so good. Like, just everything you could ask for in a show. So yeah, as I said, 5 out of 5. Perfection. Truly. Next we have Dangerous Romance, which was Perf and Shimon, rest in peace. No, they're not a couple anymore. Like, they're not, partners anymore. Actually, I feel like I liked the show more than most people. I thought it was really nicely shot, edited. Acting was really nice. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like, Kang got a lot more likable with everything. Of course, the bullying at the start was something you had to, find your way to deal with. So, yeah. I also really liked Naeem and Zaifa, and I was very bitter. They didn't end up together. I know that one of them got to jail, but still. Next was Cooking Crush. Another Afghan, and yeah, I really wanted to love this, but it was very mid, honestly. Like, they're always a joy to watch. I like their acting. I really like Off in this. I like this character. Ang Pao was so great in the show. I really liked him a lot. But it was very basic, very cringy. It felt like nothing happened, honestly. And I skipped around a lot, and yeah, it was a pain to finish this, actually. Like, honestly, I barely did it, but yeah, this was like 2.5 out of 5 for me. Next we have Last Twilight, which I honestly just finished on the channel. I mean, it's not finished yet, but I already finished it. You just haven't seen all of my reactions to it yet. I loved everything about it so bad. I loved the OST, I loved the acting, the story, everything. So many great moments that I could think about in the show. Jimmy C, love you so badly. I love everything about y'all. Just Mokday, my absolute everything. And yeah, for negative points, I only have fuck August. And you know, that thing that everyone was saying, I don't understand it either, why they gave Day his vision back at the end. They could have just, you know, let that out. But still, this show has my heart, and I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 for sure. My everything, actually. Next, we have another Korean BL, and honestly, probably my favorite Korean BL of the year, and it is Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo. Everyone was raving about it, and then I started watching it, and then I got it. Like, oh my god, this show, so good. I loved the first few episodes of their youth a lot. When they did the time skip, I was very skeptical. I was like, no, why are you doing the time skip? And such a huge one as well. I think it was like 12 years. But even then, the later episodes were still really good. And the last scene made me cry like a little baby. And oh my god, it was so good. It was so fucking good. Just, oof, a lot of feelings. But yeah, this definitely got a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Okay, next we have Lovesick 2024. Yes, I did watch this show. And I watched this without watching the original Lovesick. I've not seen the original Lovesick. I'm sorry, it's not very old, but in BL terms it's old, and I just never really had the urge to watch the original. But everyone was talking about the remake with like all the new actors, and I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And oh my god, you couldn't prepare me of how much I actually ended up enjoying the show. Almond and Progress have such nice chemistry. They're so insane. They were really good actors. And I know why everyone compared this to My School President, because honestly, even though these actors were all very young, they also did a great job. And like, there are a lot of moments in here that made me cry. Like, actually, I know that there were too many characters, too many relationships, and just too much to juggle, I feel like, for these episodes. Even though they had like 15, I think, there was still too much. I think there was too much going on. And Pun needed to get his shit together, but eventually he did, thank god. And yeah, honestly, my highlight of the show was kind of probably the middle or anything, something like that, because after they got together, I didn't really like how Pun and No kind of like had problems all the time, and like they were mad at each other, and then they kind of weren't anymore, and they didn't really talk. I don't know. It was weird, but all in all, I very much enjoyed the show. I cried a lot, I was very invested in everyone's story, and yeah, I give this a 4 out of 5 for sure. And now we are at the last show, which I only finished yesterday when the last episode dropped, and it is Spare Me Your Mercy. I've waited for this for so long. The cinematic universe of Manor of Death, Triage, and this, and all 3 shows are absolute hits. This was great, amazing. The cinematography was so good, the music was so good, and it was so Manor of Death coded. And I was always so curious what's gonna happen next. And yeah, just the characters and the actors, such a great chemistry. They were so amazing together. And oh my god, the ending, the last episode was so good. Like the scene where they argued about the doctor, you know, doing all this. The acting in that was so good. Ending made me cry. And you know, the only points I could deduct from this was that the romance wasn't exactly the focus of the show. But you know, it doesn't have to be that way all the time. So I still gave this a 4.5 out of 5 because I truly enjoyed it a lot. Like, a lot. But yeah, that was all the shows that I've watched in 2024. Thank you so much for watching this with me. Thank you so much for spending this year with me doing BLs and GLs. We're definitely gonna go into the next year watching more shows. I'm very excited for next year, for lineup and everything that's gonna come out. And yeah, as I said before, you can always leave me your rankings in the comments, or tell me what your favorite shows were this year. I mean, for me, if I had to pick one that also aired this year, it's definitely Jack and Joker. Who am I kidding? That show changed something in me. It was so good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. I hope you have a great start in the new year, and I hope I can see you again soon in my comment section, or I don't know, and you'll have a great time with my videos in the future as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!